Hey Sharon, welcome everybody. Come on in, hit the like button. Thank you for returning and having this conversation with us tonight. I appreciate you being here. You guys come on in. We're going to give YouTube a chance to get the notification out. Let me share out as well. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. Let's get this thing started. I'm so excited. Sharon, did you get to watch the documentary? Did you get to see it? I'm ready. I just want to tell y'all what I saw, what my thoughts are. I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop the link. No, not that. Okay. At least the beginning part to through some of it, that works. That works. You'll kind of stay, just so you're in the know a little bit about what we're talking about and you can join in on the conversation. Um, Here it is. All right, I have dropped the link in the chat. It'll be a few minutes before people start really coming in, so we'll just give them a chance to come in. We'll talk a little bit about Tamar and Funky Dineva a little bit about Ray J and them, just a little bit, touch on them. Thank you for my hats, you guys. I've been having this hat since the R. Kelly days. Somebody made this for me. I'm just appreciative, so I wore it. I'm not a hat girl, but when you have a bad day, it sure saves the day. So come on in, come on in. Hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Today just been a bad hair day, I don't even have lashes on, y'all. So y'all know it just was, today wasn't it. So it's still all good. Still all good, all good. If you have not already, please go ahead. Let me see what she's saying. APZ made it. You made it in. If you go ahead and share it out and like it as well, it'll be a minute for people come in. But whoever come in, cool. Whoever don't, cool. We gonna move on with the conversation here in just a little bit. Let me go over here. Hey, Harlem. Hey, welcome on in here, girl. I'm ready to talk. Harlem, how far did you get? Did you get all the way through? I think I got all the way through. I wanted to start over and watch it again, but I was like, this is just too long. It took me 2 days. Um, I just saw some things that we really haven't seen in others. So we're gonna talk about it. All right. So in about so I'm giving it about 60 more seconds, 30 more seconds, 60 more, whatever, and then we'll get started. Not much longer. Oh, I turned the fan off. Yeah, me too. I wanted to just do it again, but I will. You guys, welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The link is in the chat. So on my other thumbnail, do I have two out there? Oh Lord. Um, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But the link, subscribe. The link is in the chat. So once we start having the conversation, and if you feel like you want to come up with me on the stage and speak with me, talk to us, we can do that as well. Montreal, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Wow. Thank you for tuning in. How do I say your name? Let's see. Oh, I can't pronounce it. Either way, thank you for being here. Welcome from Montreal, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm going to turn this fan on. Hold on just a second. When I come back, we will be ready to jump in. All right, let's go ahead and get started again. As I said, if you will, hit the like, subscribe. I'm gonna say it one more time. Keeps us in the algorithm. It's a free way to support the channel. But again, the link is in the chat. If you want to come up, just hit the link and come right up with us, with me tonight, and so we can talk about it. So let's just jump in. I just really wanted to backtrack from earlier today. You love Trump? Okay. Okay. We ain't mad at you for that. We talked about it earlier about Ray J coming out and stating that, he respectfully said, hey, Jay, hey, B, you came to the Boys Mind tour with Monica and Brandy, and you never said anything to B. You didn't even speak to her. Like, just speak to her, if you will. Well, I'm finding out, I learned today that there's a possibility, allegedly, we don't know for sure. We don't want to say for sure, but that Brandy was maybe a mistress and she took it hard when the breakup happened. And so maybe they're not talking. So my question then became, why did they even show up? But I forgot that Kelly Rowland opened up for them. So that made sense to me that they would be there. But the other stuff I didn't know about. Well, they're coming out and saying that Ray J is just crashing out and that he hacked Brandy's social media site and started making posts there. So I'm not sure what Ray is up to, but I need him to hear me. I need you to calm down, Ray. Just calm down. Everything's good. Listen, the tour was off the charts. These ladies did their thing. They showed out. People showed up for them. So let's just be happy for that and not start anything else. Let's just do that thing. How about that? So, Harlem, I'm thinking we probably should have went just straight through YouTube tonight for the conversation that we're having, but we're here now. So anyway, that is Ray J and branding them. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit because of the fact that now they're saying that he's hacked Brandy's social media site, and there are like some comments on there that maybe Brandy, of course, Brandy probably didn't post or whatever. So we'll have to go check that out and see what was actually posted. But I saw that on the way coming live. So anyway, neither here nor there. Let's move on to Tamar and Funky Dineva. Now, let me get up here. So, let me see. I'm going to see if I can share this one. All right. So, Tamar is, so just to recap, Funky Dineva, Tamar had an interview, and in the interview, she was talking about what happened the night her and Funky went out and the Mendeecees thing and everything. And she said, she continues, I think what really ticked Funky off is that, hey Bridget, welcome BFF. What ticked Funky Dineva off is that Tamar talked about him giving him a party. Plus, you know, she kind of did him wrong. He just got the bad end of the stick, so he got fed up. And so he went in and he divulged to us that there have been multiple times that they have been out to dinner, whatever, and here come Mendeecees. He also indulged to us that that night that she said she got her teeth knocked out and woke up in a pool of blood, that that they went to Ruth Chris. They were sitting at the table, and of course, Mendeecees was there, and or was it at V12? However, they were sitting at a table, and Mendeecees was rubbing on Tamar's thighs up her dress, and she was like, Funky Dineva was like, she just kind of gave that stop, you know, that like flirty stop. Not that she really wanted him to stop, but you know, make it look like she wanted him to stop or whatever. Allegedly, I don't know. So we got that information, and he just told it all. He told us how she had on her the dun-ta-duns and was sitting on Mendeecees' lap, and how they were kissing in the back of the Uber. Now, mind you, this is Yandy's husband, and they were kissing in the back of the Uber. And at the end of the night, Mendeecees and his friend goes upstairs with Tamar. And the next thing we know, Tamar comes out and says she was lying in a pool of blood, teeth everywhere. She don't know what happened to her. Well, because it was splattered on social media that she was the last person she was really with was Funky Dineva. He was reaching out and saying, please just tell the people, just post something and say, I didn't have anything to do with your teeth getting knocked out, with you being in a pool of blood, none of that. I need you to do that because people are dragging me about it, right? Excuse me. So she wouldn't post. She was like, she had other things to think about, but yet she was posting other stuff. So he was thinking, man, if you're posting other stuff, you have time to post that. Can you just put something out there really quick? And so she would never do that. She would not like stand up for him, right? Like I felt like she should have. And so Sharon said she don't know who to believe on this. So I just feel like Tamar just is not being truthful with us, right? So then Tamar goes on this interview. So Tamar did post something eventually. She posted something, you know, about her friendship with Funky, whatever. And then she took it down. And so her and Funky's relationship is kind of like feels like it's just it's over. So Tamar claps back with her lawyer saying like she's going to sue them. He can talk to her lawyer. And I don't know what this is, but what did Tamar say? Oh, I'm glad you asked. So let's just see what Tamar said, if we can get this up. Share. Now, this is a letter from her lawyer, James L. Walker Jr. And this was to um let me see if y'all can see this. Yeah. Now, Tamar and Ray J both need to go get them some therapy. I agree. And they my homies, right? Especially Ray. So this is the letter. This is the letter that she actually sent out to him. Now, normally when you want somebody to stop talking about you or you're warning them that there could be, some charges, then right, you're not going to talk about your projects and this and that. So I'm gonna see if I can get this big enough so I can see it because y'all know I can't say. And we'll read this what she said. Let me see if I can get it big enough. Maybe let me see if I put my glasses on, I can see. So basically, she said this. It says December the 2nd, which was yesterday. Official statement of Tamar Braxton. Official statement of Tamar E. Braxton. This summer, I poured my heart into heartbreak. I can't see it, y'all. Heartbreak. What is it? Why is it not? Oh, come on! I want you to get bigger. Let me see if I can see it on here. Give me just a second. She said, I poured my heart into Heartbreak Retrograde, a project that includes a six sequel EP and short film. Seeing it reach #1 on the iTunes R&B chart. I can't barely see it, y'all, because I kind of grabbed it from somebody. The R&B charts and top 20 overall has meant the world to me and my team. Your support has been incredible. Why, like, anyway, that's why it's been especially painful to watch a hurtful, and completely, I can't see it, and completely untrue rumor spread online this week, accusing me of having an inappropriate relationship with my male co-star. Let me be clear. This is a lie. It's sad that the moment you achieve something meaningful, some people choose to respond with gossip and I can't read that word. Gossip and something. I can't read it. These rumors don't just touch me. They touch our families, our kids, our loved ones, the people who never asked to be dragged into nonsense. I had hoped by now we'd see better. We'd see better from those who claim to report responsibly and love our people. As for me, I'm letting my lawyers take it from here. I'm staying focused on what I love, creating, storytelling, and making music and film that matter. Lord, I can't see it, y'all. If you haven't heard Heartbreak Retrograde yet, I hope you'll give it a listen. And thank you again for lifting us high on the charts. So dang, that was hard to get through. I couldn't see it, but y'all get the picture. I think my question is, and if anybody knows, then y'all can tell me. But like, did she actually send this to did she actually send this to Funky Dineva? Like, what was it supposed to be? And then it came from her lawyer's desk. Like, all this was for me was that she was really just representing her project. She did address and say the things that were told were lies. But I'm Sharon, I'm like you, like I tend to believe Funky for a lot of reasons. I tend to believe that Funky's not lying about it. And the reason that I believe that is because he was so upset with Tamar. He's first of all was mad because Tamar didn't protect him. And second of all, he's mad because and second of all, he said every time Mendeecees came around, it was very uncomfortable. And if Mendeecees was, I feel like if it wasn't a secret or they weren't doing anything. So when you go to V12 and you walk in, the celebrities walk in, they kind of record it or video it and they post it on all social media sites. When they said, he said Mendeecees was definitely there. He just stayed back so he didn't have to be a part of all of that. Unless he just didn't want to be in the spotlight, then why didn't you walk in with them? You were with them. And then touching her legs, between her legs of her dress, like, why are you hanging out with Tamar if you're married? If this was just a project you was on, then you move on, you go back to your wife, you just carry on, you don't hang out, right? And Tamar said on the interview though, that she barely knows Mendeecees, like they don't know each other like that, but they're cool, right? And then they asked the question, well, why did you, if you were going to choose Mendeecees, right, then why did you not choose to use a stage name instead of using his government name? She really couldn't give an answer for why she did that or whatever. So I think the whole question for me is Tamar or did Tamar have a encounter with Mendeecees before, during, or after the project, after they were shooting? But Tamar's definitely denying it, and now she's claiming to let her lawyers handle it. All right. So when she came out and said that, then let's get this one off. And so this was a statement from her, not a cease and desist. Exactly. It was not a cease and desist. This was just a statement from her, from James L. Walker's desk, right? A cease and desist says, we want you to take it down. We want you to stop talking about me, keep my name out your mouth, all those things. So I'm wondering, like, since she sent this out, will a cease and desist come after this? Or what is she doing? Like, I just don't know. Let me see. Let me go back over here. But this is Tamar, and even Tony said that Tamar. What was interesting is that Tony was like, my sister. Shout out to Jasmine Brand, because I'm going to show this, and this is kind of a clip from the Jasmine Brand. But I just kind of snagged it from the Jasmine Brand. But shout out to Jasmine Brand. This is where I got the information. But Tony was like, I don't understand why my sister wants to be infamous and not famous. But Tamar loves the press and love to be in the press, whether it's good press or bad press. Tamar loves that attention for some reason. So then Tamar posted this. Let me share this with y'all. Then she posted this right here. Did it share? Oh, there it is. And it says, Tamar says, people like to trigger me, hoping for me to respond and crash out. That's the old me. I always feel the need to defend myself, but my lawyers will this time, and every time instead. I'm tired, but I'm learning to take Tamartian's advice, use my voice to talk less. and sing more. That's it. That's all. God bless. Thank you to my amazing attorney and team. We don't lose. James Walker Esquire and Company. Now back to big business. Heartbreak Retrograde went #1 on my label. So congratulations to you on that, Tamar. That's good that it's #1. I really love every song that you share with us. I love the project, but just this is just, if this is all about promoting this, I feel like it's a bad way to promote it. And I also feel like, listen, if you want Funky to stop talking and or you're gonna try to sue him, we've learned from Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion's case that you gotta let him know first. Make sure you send him the cease and desist, because you got to do that first before you can go and sue him in a court of law. That's where Megan kind of messed up, but she still won in retrospect. But you have to give them a cease and desist first. Speaking of Milagro and Meg Thee Stallion, it looks like Milagro got a win in that the defamation was actually dropped, so she does not have to pay on that charge, but the other ones that she will have to end up. So I think it's like $59K. So they're saying that she is media. So anyway, back to Tamar. So for Tamar, you're right, Harlem. I feel like Tamar crashes out just like she came out and she was crying right after she said she lost her teeth and something had happened. And she was like, what drama? What drama did I do? Like, I just sometimes feel like Tamar, listen, I like Tamar. I love her voice. I love her music. I love her humor. I do. I just, it's just some things that she does that I'm like side-eyeing her. But for the most part, I like Tamar. So anyway, again, I want to say welcome everyone. Hello. Thank y'all for coming in. If you're in here, hit the like button for us. We would appreciate it. All right. So now let's move on to the nitty-gritty. So let's talk about The Reckoning. So as I was saying, I did watch it all the way through. Took me 2 days because I'm, get busy. But I wanted to watch it again. I wanted to watch it where I could just watch it all the way through and not stop, watch. But we could definitely talk about it. She do this every time I'm live. She just sorry, y'all. I have to stop for my grandson. That was him calling me. So anyway, let's talk about it. So here's my opinion about it. I think on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give 50 a 9.5 for his documentary. That's how much I did enjoy it. And I enjoyed the information that he had. I felt like I'm watching The Reckoning now, part 3. Okay, so you getting through it. I give it a 9.5. I feel like we've seen a lot of documentaries about Puff, right? And I just feel like this was a different twist because it really kind of gave me some information why things were happening. And it also shows us how Diddy moves and shakes, right? And it just, you even get to see him like right 11 days before he goes to jail, 6 days before he goes to jail, and the things that he's doing and how he acts, right? So here are some of the highlighted points that I have. I don't know for sure, Harlem, if you want to come up and let's discuss it. or anybody else that wants to come up, the link is out there. If you've seen it, let's talk about it together. Y'all might get bored with just me talking. But anyway, let's talk about it. So here's one thing that really irked me, which was a lot of things that irked me about Diddy. In this film, in this documentary, we all questioned how Tupac was unalive, who unalived Tupac. We questioned who unalived Biggie, right? But in this documentary, all fingers point to allegedly, just our opinion, what he gave us, points to Diddy paying people to unalive Tupac. It points to Diddy taking Big to LA when Big did not want to go to LA, and his friend Kirk was saying they got several messages to not step foot in California. But Diddy was going anyway. So he said they get on the flight, they go, he wakes Big up and was like, you need to get up. We got a 6 o'clock flight. It's 5 o'clock. We got to go, right? Big went ahead and went. And so they went to the, they get to California. They go to this event, whatever the event was. And the next day, Big was supposed to catch a flight. Him and Kirk, right? Wasn't it Kirk was supposed to catch a flight overseas to a different event. So had Diddy not canceled that flight and let them go on and catch their flight that morning, Biggie would have avoided being unalived at that point. You will be covering that. I will be covering that case. Oh, JoJo. Okay. Hey, JoJo. I couldn't see y'all. I need my glasses on for real. Welcome, JoJo. I'm sorry about that. So Biggie, so what happened was they was like, what do you mean? We're supposed to catch a flight and go overseas and take care of this. He was supposed to be the first Black rapper, something. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down. But Diddy was like, he called him, Kirk, and was like, cancel the flight. We're not going. And he was like, what do you mean we ain't going? And Diddy hangs the phone up. So Kirk feels like, come on, APZ, you gotta watch it. I know we're all busy, but when you get a chance, you'll want to watch it. So then Kirk was like, I feel like Puff walked Biggie right into his unaliving because he was like forcing him to do things like, right? Big is signed to Puff's label, so he got to do what Puff said. So he cancels the flight. They don't make it to overseas, and then he goes and he ends up unalived. With Puff, what was interesting to me is that they had Keefe D's interrogation on there, and they were saying that he was supposed to get paid, like Puff was supposed to make a payment to him for $25,000. Is that right, Harlem? $250,000, something like that. Was supposed to make a payment to him, right?
I thought it was it was allegedly a hit that was supposed to be on the both of them, Suge and Pac.
Right.
He paid him. I thought it was, that's why I say gotta look back. I thought it was $500,000.
Hold on before we go any further. It's APZ's birthday. You just now telling us? Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, APZ. You guys, Put a happy birthday in the chat for my mod APZ. She is the best. We appreciate you being here. Happy birthday. So JoJo saying 50K, but JoJo, I thought, and the link is in the chat this time, JoJo, but I thought that they got 50, I thought they got 25,000 of it, didn't get the rest, like he, and they said it was supposed to, and didn't even get that payment, right? But he said the reason that they didn't get, they're thinking the reason they didn't get the rest of the payment is because they were supposed to both unalive. They were supposed to unalive both Suge and Pac, but Suge didn't. He walked away from it, right? And so basically, what it's telling us is they're just admitting, right, that they're admitting that he's paying them to off them. He wants them out the way. And if you saw, when you see this, if you haven't seen it, everything West they was doing out in the West Coast, Sean wanted to mimic that. Like, what are they doing so well? Like, what is Suge's label?
Suge is Death Row.
Death Row, yeah. So Death Row came out with this with Tupac. I mean, with so Tupac and Snoop and oh, I know. And anyway, Death Row, right? So he was like, he said, what are they out there doing that's so successful? I want to mimic that. So then that's when he got Pop and they got together, and he said that's when, I mean, Biggie, he said when they did that and Biggie came out with I love it when you call me Big Papa, right? When he came out with that, that's when it took Biggie over the top as a big celebrity. And that's when as a big artist, and that's when Biggie was in. So like for me, Puff didn't want his strategy. He begged to meet Andre Harrell, right? He wanted somebody, please, you gotta let me. He knocked on his door every day. I want to meet Andre Harrell. See, Big Sean Puff had a strategy. He knew what he wanted, and he kind of knew how he was going to go get it. So I feel like once he met Andre Harrell, who took him under his wing, who moved him in with him, who just took him under as his son, right? And was a father figure in his life. And Puff was in there trying to learn everything about the business, which is smart, right? Which is smart. Learn everything about the business, everything the way Andre Harrell did it, because Andre Harrell was off the charts. He was the man. Andre Harrell was the man. And so he finally gets in with Andre Harrell, who makes him he comes in as an intern. Eventually he moves up the ranks, right? But while he was in with Andre Harrell, they had a really great relationship. And Puff started getting the big head, right? And so eventually it took a while because they was in together for a long time. But eventually they started getting into it. And then one day, Andre Harrell said, he told I can't remember, but he told him, he was like, I'm about to fire Puff. And so he was like, what? So he fired him, and Puff was just shook. Like, what am I going to do? So thus came him going and creating his own label and getting big. He said, but I'm going to let you take Biggie with you. And he took Big with him. And so that's when he started saying, okay, what are they doing? How do we get successful? And that's how he started getting successful. But the problem was, for me, is that Diddy didn't want anybody to be bigger than him. If he saw or felt that you were going to be a bigger success than him, then he wanted you out. Tupac was fire. I mean, you gotta, whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast, you gotta give Tupac his props. He was fired, but Biggie was fired too. So I feel like both of them, and it's alleged that Biggie was trying to get off of Puff's label before he passed away, just trying to get out of the contract. I think I heard that, but he felt, if you guys know anything or follow Puff or any of them, Puff really wasn't the artist. Puff was he was the label. And so they said how he came up is he would get on his artist videos he would get on, he would be in the videos dancing, and but he was coming up. I think for me, his strategy was fire. He had a brilliant way to come up, but he did it the wrong way because he did people wrong along the way. So anything you want to say before I get into the rest of mine, or you want me to do mine and then you talk about yours?
No, I just was going to say, Bridget put it in the chat that it was $1 million was the offer, and they only paid 500,000.
500,000. Okay, I don't
So
know where.
the hit was for the both of them, so that's why they only got the 500,000, because they only got one.
But did they actually get the 500,000?
I thought that they got 500,000.
Okay. It seemed like some way, maybe it was because they were saying they didn't get the other 500 because Suge did not. They didn't off Suge. They also asked Suge, like, if you knew that you knew who unalived Pac, would you tell? And he was like, nope. He was like, absolutely not. He ain't telling. That's the streets, right? So anyway, but yeah. So he was in the videos. He was dancing. He came up that way, and so then as Puff became this big person, he started becoming this, like, and first he didn't do drugs, he didn't drink at all. It took him a while before he started doing all that stuff and became a drug addict. But he just was like, for me, an evil person in the business, and he was a gatekeeper. So everybody wanted to be like, if Puff came to you and wanted you and offered you to be on the label, you're gonna do it because it's Puff, right? And then how he came up with Ciroc, and he said he was so brilliant about this. That's why I was like, "What? You don't have to treat people mean with your brain. You could just you're gonna make money. Don't treat people like that." But anyway, so with Ciroc, they said if you sell a million cases, they gave him this big number they would pay him, and he went in. And that's what put him over the top too. That's how he became a billionaire as well too, because I'm trying to read the chart, because he was actually able to convince people that Ciroc is what you want. Ciroc is the ish right now, and this is what you want to be doing. And people were buying into it. Everywhere you saw Puff, you saw a bottle of Ciroc. In the freak offs, there were 5 bottles of Ciroc every time on the table. That's what the freak off man that they hired for 8 years said. When I walk in the room, 5 bottles of Ciroc sitting on the table. So he really marketed Ciroc in a way that he was going to get that check. So he got that check. The other thing about this was it's so much. I'm so frustrated with Puff about Big's funeral. So he passes away. And they have, y'all seen, we've seen it. We all saw the funeral and how big it was and elaborate it was, and how everybody in Harlem, everybody came out for this funeral, right? And only to find, and Puff was made it seem like he paid for this big elaborate funeral for his guy. This is his guy, right? But only to find out in the documentary that Big's estate had to pay for the funeral. Like, he wasn't doing his brother a favor. The estate had to pay for it. And I think, okay, if they have to pay for it, give them their props that they paid for it, right? And so that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. He was having these tributes to Biggie. You know, it was just, he made it seem like it was all about Biggie. But then when Biggie gets the cover of what's the magazine, Harlem?
What was the magazine? Was it Vibe or was it Source? I don't remember. Maybe Vibe.
Somebody in the chat, Bridget, you watched it just now. I think you passed that part. What was the magazine that Big was going to be on? Kirk told us. Oh, I can't remember. But whatever magazine. to 50 to put the truth
I
out.
think it
Yeah,
was 5.
I think you're right. I think it was vibe. I'm gonna 90% say vibe, right? So anyway, they were gonna do a tribute to Biggie. He's already passed away, but they were gonna give him the cover, right? Allegedly LAPD. I don't, I don't know. Hold on. Keep that thought. Keep that thought. But anyway, instead of so what Puff did is vibe. Yep, it was vibe. Thank you, JoJo. So he instead of allowing Puff to go ahead and Biggie to have that tribute on the cover of Vibe, he calls and was like, you stop that right now. I think it was Kirk, right? You stop that right now. He was like, what? He was blown away. I need to be on that cover because I need to promote my project that's coming out. So we're not putting Big on there. And actually took Big off the cover and put himself on the cover of Vibe. Rolling Stone, yeah. It was Rolling Stone.
I thought it was Vibe because remember the lady came out, the editor, she came out when the everything was starting with Puffy. And she talked about how he threatened her about the cover. And she had to leave her office and duck him and all of that because he was coming to the office threatening her and stuff.
You're just saying no, it's Rolling Stone. She's just seen it. So, and I remember Rolling Stone, but it's why do I want to say? I want to keep reflecting back. You ain't go or you back? Y'all back? I'm not screaming. Okay. I want to say Vibe for some reason, but then Rolling Stone pops in there too. We're gonna find that out. Can somebody? So let's see. They had two cover stories. No BF, it's Rolling Stone. Okay, she's saying it's Rolling Stone. Whichever cover it was, Diddy took Biggie off and put himself on that cover. So I thought that was wrong. Harlem, I promise I'm gonna let you get in. I promise. The other thing that I'm freaked out by, but we heard this before, but like they just confirmed it, like right? They're in the studio, and whoever this guy is comes to the studio, and him and his son, Justin, no, what's the light-skinned one? Not Quincy.
I didn't hear you. What you say?
Showed the Rolling Stone. So what's his son's name? The light-skinned one, not Quincy, the other one, by Misa.
Justin.
Justin, I was right. Justin and his daddy, Puff, and this guy goes into the restroom. Lil Rod is in the studio, right? Messing around with the music, and he hears a pow pow shot. He was like, oh shoot, did I hit like one of the buttons on thing? He said, and Puff and Justin walk out like nothing happens. He said, so he goes in the restroom, this man bleeding out on the floor. And he said all he knew was to start getting stuff to try to stop the bleeding and call 911. He calls 911. Here's what's strange to me. He calls 911. The ambulance gets there and parks down the street. He was like, what are y'all doing down here? Come down here. I need you here. They said, we got to wait on the police to get here. You're not going to go in and try to save this man. And so whatever happened to this man is a mystery. He still don't know who he is, where he is, whatever. Who is the man, Harlem? Who did he? Anyway, something happened in that bathroom. This man gets pow pow. So the police come. Somehow, some way, Puff gets off of it. They never questioned it again. He said he came in and questioned Little Rod. Little Rod told him what happened, and they moved on. Justin was with him. What happened in that bathroom? Okay.
Allegedly, I know you telling the story, but allegedly,
tell me
that was Justin's friend, but it was also said that was more than his friend.
Oh.
But the guy has disappeared.
Oh, more than Justin's friend?
More than it was,
Yeah, I get you. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me Let me check the chat real quick before we move on. Your best friend unalived. Oh, see, and you're supposed to be mourning, and you're worried about a cover and a promoting. Dude is weird. Yes, I agree. She confirmed Justin. She said that Roseanne Barr showed the Rolling Stone. Okay, and then it's more. He's very weird. Yeah. Um, he said they had 2 scheduled appearances. JoJo said recording studio in LA. Huh? What was that? And then I love it over here. Oh, JoJo, thank you. Thank you. We love you being here. I appreciate you coming. So anyway, let's move on because I know we got Harlem I got to hear Harlem's piece on this too. And anybody else that wants to come up, don't forget the chat. The link is in the chat. You can just hit it and we'll bring you in. Also, if you're here and you have not yet hit the link, go ahead and do that. And again, I appreciate y'all. And again, shout out to APZ. It's your birthday, girl. That's where it happened. Yeah, okay. Whenever it happened to his friend. So Harlem be having some backstory that I've never heard that I'm like, what? Be having me have lockjaw. So I can't wait because I didn't even know Justin that was, said about Justin. So this is good information. This is a good conversation. So anyway, moving on to what else I think. I want to talk a little bit about Puff's phone calls in real time, just days before he goes to jail, right? So we know he was in New York, and he, by his attorneys, told him to go ahead and fly in, and he was like, God told me not to say nothing, do nothing. Y'all need to do something. Y'all need to be like on social media, telling his lawyers this, right? Be on social media. You need to do whatever you need to do. We losing right now. We losing the battle right now. There were phone calls that he made. Like I wanted more of the real time stuff in New York, right? We saw him on the bike rides. We saw the conversations. We saw him in the rooms with his sons. And then his lawyer called and said that they had something saying that how Cassie was in love with him and wanted to be with him. I think it was Cassie. And he was like, yeah, we got it. You gotta send it to us. Like he hiding now. Puff, when I saw him in the room in real time, he was shaking in his boots. Like we saw him on the yacht. We saw him living his life, but we never seen behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, this man was stressed out. He did not want to go to jail. And he was like, how in the world can Don? He said, yo, Don just filed a lawsuit on me. I've never done nothing to this girl. We never had big bad blood with this girl, and we've never been into it, and now she want to do a lawsuit. Why these lies? What got me was, so it was Dawn, and what was the other black girl's name?
Kalina,
not Kalani, Kalina. What frustrated me again is Kalina was going through a child custody thing, right? And she had went to Puff and was like, I need your help because I need to get better lawyers. And if you could loan me $5,000, I swear I can pay you back. He was like, nah, I got other things to do. Yet, when this all breaks out, who do he call needing a favor? He wanted Kalina to put out a statement, but she loved him. Kalina loved him. She had his bag, but she wanted more time. But at that time, he came to her saying, please just put out a statement. So what that brought, and so let me not keep jumping. She put out a statement. He wanted her to put out a statement that to debunk pretty much what Don was saying, because Kalina did say, I really didn't see it. That I wasn't around, that I don't know what they was in there doing, right? So she did say that, but she was broken for the fact that she's always loved Puff. They had a good relationship and he let her down, but now he comes to her needing her when he's in time of need. And she just was battling with like, this is my time to tell him, you need me now, right? But when I needed just to borrow $5,000, you couldn't come through for me. You a billionaire and you can't loan her $5,000? She swears she pay you back. You I understand you what you going through, but she gonna give it back. But now you need her. Y'all tell me in the chat, should Kalina, should she have put the statement out and said, no, when I needed you, you couldn't be there for me. Now you need me. But here's me, like I'm a friend. You did me wrong, but I still got love for you. I love you to pieces. Let me just go on and do it. Like, I don't know. I don't know in that moment what I would have done. Do we think Kalina should have wrote a statement? Y'all, I don't. I'm not a hat person. That's why I keep grabbing this hat. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in that situation, but she was heartbroken by that. So there were several calls. She said she hadn't got that many calls from Puff, from nobody like that. He was calling her back to 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 back. And she would let us hear. She'll APZ, you gotta go see it. Whoever haven't seen it, y'all gotta go see it. They was letting us hear the conversations and what he was pleading and begging her to do. Then they're saying, like, I looked at people's comments a little bit, and people are kind of saying that Kalina is kind of like the bottom B, to Puff, would do anything he wanted her to do, got sprung out on drugs because of Puff. And then, but no, that Kalina was, but I'm gonna leave that alone because I need to get that straight before I say that. But anyway, so let me move on from Kalina. But bottom line, I really wanted to make the point about him needing her whenever he needed her to do something, but he couldn't be there for him. Like the bodyguard, what's his name? The one that got out of prison and was with him for a time when he was with Kim.
Roger Bonds.
Roger Bonds. Come on, friend. Yes. Roger Bonds. Roger Bonds was like, he was frustrated. He was like, I want to talk about him a little bit. Roger Bonds was in a situation where he probably should have walked away from the situation because he said he never saw Puff hit Kim Porter like he did with Cassie, but he knew that it had happened because of the fact that when she would come out of that room, her hair would be messed up. She might have a bruise or something or whatever. But Kim was the one that was like, I ain't the one. But he had a sister at that time, right? She was like, I ain't that girl. Like, I ain't fixing to put up with it. Get somebody else to do it, right? And Kim put up with a lot of stuff, but he wasn't like doing her like he was doing Cassie. Like, he really cared about Kim. But what, again, frustrated me, for lack of other words, is that he would have Cassie on the red carpet and then pull Kim out. Kim ain't knowing what's going on with Cassie, right? So he wrong for that. But then eventually Kim was like, you know what? I have to make a decision for me and my family, and what is best is for us just to go to our separate ways, which I'm glad she did that. And she did get to spend that time and get the kids to an age, maybe not to grown, I know that, but to an age where she spent a lot of time being in a good space with her kids. And I like that about it. But Kim was one that was not taking no mess off of Puff. And so I like that. So they also had they talked about Aubrey O'Day, or Aubrey O'Day talked about getting a phone call from, I forget who gave her the phone call. But this phone call was telling her, she was like, I know what I saw. And who was it, Harlem?
She didn't say who the person was because the person has filed a lawsuit against Puffy.
Yes,
I think I know who it is. But she didn't say who it was. She said that the person saw whatever, and they submitted an affidavit to what they saw.
Okay, so she did sign an affidavit to what she saw. But listen, Aubrey Day was not the only one because Aubrey Day is distraught. because she had no idea that this could have possibly happened to her. But what happened is she was allegedly rugged. He fed her some rugs, and so this person was going to the. We do know who it was, right? Because they said she was going to the restroom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes. Aubrey,
okay.
I'm just saying Aubrey didn't say who it is.
Gotcha. So
See how she read the affidavit, and she said that the person, it was a female going to the restroom, she was there to meet her boyfriend, and she said who the boyfriend was. So that's who I figured who the girl is.
right.
I don't know if you remember the lawsuit, Talia Graves,
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
the one that was like horrible.
Yes.
That's who I think it is,
Okay.
because the boyfriend was Conrad, and that's who her boyfriend was at the time.
Whoa, that's who it allegedly is, Harlem.
Yeah.
Montana, welcome in, Montana. That's who it allegedly is. Then, now that you said that, but she said she was going to the restroom. Don't stop me when I get wrong. Going to the restroom. She forgot where the restroom was, right? She opened the doors only to open and find Puff. And when she opened the door, Aubrey was covered from the top up, and Puff was going in with her. And that's how she found out. And she said that the person that told her called her and kind of read it to her on the phone. But when Aubrey read it on the documentary, like, that was so sad to me. You can see she's distraught. Like, how can something happen to me and I don't know? Well, Lil Rod said the same thing. He was saying that there's a lot of things he didn't remember, but he said he would wake up, it would be some strange woman in the bed with him. He'd wake up, Puff be in the bed with him, like he didn't know. And he had to ask himself, like, how long am I going to take this? But he was supposed to be getting paid this amount of money. Puff moved him to Florida into his home. And he said that this stuff started, at first it was real good. They got build a relationship. He was supposed to move him into the house next door, all these promises, but he started grooming him. He said he could see him grooming, and then he like rugged him and actually violated him. So that was crazy. So we got not only Aubrey, but we also got Lil Rod saying that things happen to them that they don't remember. Here's my question, though. This is what I would pose the question. Like, would we, I mean, can Aubrey do something about that, something that she don't remember? And by this person saying, go ahead and go public with it, I got your back, I will sign, I will do whatever, does that help a case for Aubrey? Or can she not do something about that? I'm just curious about that because she doesn't remember. So really it's like hearsay is what I would take it as. I don't know though how that might work. What else do I want to talk about? What was really sad was Kirk. Okay, let me look at the chat. Right said 47 is a billionaire too. Allegedly, he doesn't pay people. It's not about the money. It's about whether you are willing to spend it. And then Right also said, so apparently there are date grade rugs that can knock you out in seconds. Apparently it's come kind of fentanyl. Okay. So something like fentanyl, I don't know. But I guess so. She said that there would be these pink pills, these were these orange pills, these were like branded pills, like it was all kinds of pills. And so now I want to just talk about Cassie and this guy, because I think this guy is like against Cassie and not against Puff, but he was just telling his story and his experiences, right? Thought that fan went off. He was saying that there was one time he went, like he was with them for 8 years, and every March the 8th I believe that's the date of Big's unaliving, he would call them out and they would have this celebration. They would have these freak offs with Cassie. And one time he said he went in there and there was some rock on the table, and Cassie was gonna give him, what's his name, Harlem? The dude,
The escort.
escort, yeah. What's his name?
You be so funny describing things. I be sitting there cracking up at you.
Yeah, what's his name?
Clayton.
Clayton,
Clayton Howard.
so Clayton, he says that she was supposed to give him, like she was going to give him a drink, and Puff was like, "Don't give him no drink, and don't give him no drink." And so Cassie gives him the drink anyway, and Puff goes off on him, goes totally off on him, on Cassie, and started kicking her. And he was like, "What are you doing?" Like at that point, I feel like he should have, like, why are people not calling the police when you're seeing this stuff? What was his reasoning for? Did he give us a reason for why he didn't call the police when he saw that? Well, probably because they were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, but still, like, this girl is getting beat down. And so he said a lot of his experiences was that it really was Cassie inviting him there. They would do every March 8th because it was the anniversary of Big's, the day he got on alive. I'm really not sure about this guy. I'm really not sure about his lawsuit and what that's going to look like, but he's wanting to sue Cassie, if I'm not mistaken. And he feels like Puff shouldn't have got the time that he got, because really it was Cassie that was grooming him and forcing him into sexual activities. He said Puff had never, in the beginning, never slept with Cassie after the escort did. He said, but eventually it got to, he go in the room and do Cassie, then he come out, then Puff will go in, then Puff come out, then he go in. He said he was asking them, why, how in the world are y'all going so long? And she said, it's these right here. So he tried it, and he said it was on and cracking then, like he could go 40, 72 hours then. So he had that experience. He saw, that's where he was introduced to doing the drug at that time. He said he only tried it one time though. Then I want to talk about the jurors really quick, and then I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, Harlem. So the two jurors on there, first of all, what we thought, right? They said that he was not on trial for domestic violence, and so that's why they didn't, they couldn't find him guilty on the Mann Act. He said also the other reason, like, they didn't feel like Cassie was a victim. They felt like, especially that guy, he was like, you can't tell me that you can't complain about, like, you want to enjoy the things that you get from it, like the money, the shopping, the lavish lifestyle that you live. But then, when you get violated and you get jumped on and beat and kicked like that, you complain for a while, and then the next day we see y'all back together, like it's okay. He said, so really they couldn't get with that program. Like, they really didn't feel like Cassie was a victim. They asked the black lady, like, do you not think he's a bad person? She said, well, according to the incident at the hotel, yeah, like, he's capable of being a bad person. So they came with their verdict the way they came with it, because they looked at everything. She said that, how we kept hearing during the trial that Puff was looking at the jurors and making eyes at them and all that. She said that's absolutely not true. She said at points he would, like, nod his head, like agreeing with something that had been said. But she said there was never a time like they just made constant eye contact. Like, them two said they never looked at Puff because they were instructed not to look at him, but that there was never a time where Puff was just in there just staring at the jurors and making them, like, trying to persuade them to do, to make a decision one way or the other. She said it didn't really happen like that. She said they heard a lot of stuff that people were saying going in the courtroom that never went on. She was like, when did that happen? So that goes to show you, like, people are still, even with boots on the ground in there, they're still going to come out and say things that maybe are not true, or just kind of massage it a little bit and make it into something bigger than what it is. Where I was shocked to see is that Tisa Tells was in the documentary. I was a little shocked to see her in it, but I was proud for her that she was in it. In the documentary, Tisa said that his attorneys was offering her the what were they offering her, Harlem?
The transcripts, but they weren't only offering them to Tisa. They gave the lawyers gave the transcripts to all of the bloggers, the TikTokers that were out there, and they highlighted certain areas that they wanted them to look at.
Hmm. And Tisa said she said no, thank you, that she didn't take it. But I was proud to see her in there. So I'm gonna be quiet for a little while. I'm gonna look in the chat and interact in the chat. And Harlem, now you go through with everything that you, because I know there's some spots that I missed. I kind of was all over the place, and then we can have a conversation after you say your spiel.
Well, I'm like you. I I enjoyed the documentary because it kind of the videos of him that he had recorded. So you got to see things from his perspective, and like people are saying that 50 is trying to bring down a black man, but how is he when this is Puffy's footage? This was his videographer out there taking these videos. 50 wasn't out there taking the videos. He only got the footage and put it out there for the public to look at.
Agreed. Agreed. And I think that's what separates this documentary from every other documentary. No one has the footage that Puff was using when because he hired this videographer for his trip to California prior to going to jail, right? So that's how we got that real time footage from Puff while he was in New York. But what happened was he went to jail, and so she was able to get it in 50's hands. So I'm with you, Harlem. I don't feel 50 was bringing a black man down. They even reached out to Puff and asked if he wanted to respond. Reach out to his mom, see if she wanted to say anything. No one wanted to speak on it.
Right. And then the other thing that got me is, whenever I don't claim him as being from Harlem, he's from Mount Vernon.
Why would they?
These people that claim him in Harlem, they could claim him, and they shouldn't be claiming him after this documentary because he was out in the streets of Harlem, hugging, taking pictures, shaking hands, all of that. When he got in the car, what did he do? Oh, I need some hand sanitizer. I need to take a hot bath.
Yeah,
I need to get this off of me, but I got to do what I got to do. So
yeah.
he not doing it to support nobody but himself.
It's
Everything is all about him.
all about self. That was so crazy. Even 50 talked about that on his interview with Good Morning America, right? He said, did y'all see that? Did you see he
Yeah, I
went
saw it. Hmm.
out there shaking the hands of the people, and then he gets it, and they was like, is that why you put it? He was like, yeah, because it just tells you who he is, what kind of man he is, right? I was like, whoa. And he actually said,
Right.
I'm bad now, which I kind of get it, like you amongst people, but dang, like you wasn't out there really because you really out there letting the people see you and take pictures, and because that's what they wanted, you was out there to see who you could get on your side.
On his side. Right. It's
That's
always about him. It's always a way to make it for him.
always a way to make it for him. And then let me see. Go
Because he
ahead.
even had his boys involved in things and whatever. You do this, you do this. I need you to find. Like, what? Your kids don't need to be involved in none of that.
They don't need to be involved in none of it. And just like Kirk said, I think it was Kirk, he was like, even if those kids don't like what their dad is doing or don't want to do what their dad has them doing, he'll never know because they won't ever say that they didn't like it. They're gonna always just whatever their dad say, they're gonna go with it. And I feel like you taking your son in a bathroom and a gunshot, and this man is shot. He's pow and blood, and y'all just walk out and you tell him, come on, like y'all, like this is what he got to live with. It's crazy to me. I'm trying to catch up in the thing. Yeah, we've said that jury got it wrong. You think the jury got it wrong? Kendall Starr said the jury got it wrong. And do you think they got it wrong in a way that he should have been acquitted of everything, Kendall, if you're still here? Or do you think they got it wrong in that he should have been charged with all of it? And then Montana said, I want to know how they was able to bring up the allegations about Biggie, but never charge him for it. Like, that's my thing now. But I'm asking, the question is, are they going to charge him now that they have? I don't think nobody's going to go down for Biggie or Tupac like that. Keefy D is all they have. And the only people left is Keefy D and Puff. So I think he'll probably slide through the cracks on that. Did I skip somebody before that, before I got to JoJo? He is running. I'm coming back, JoJo. He is running a criminal enterprise. Absolutely. Just like you would take Capricorn Clark out to the park and threaten her like that just because she knew Suge, but it was his girlfriend that she really knew. And holding the girl in the building for all them days. He was trying to say Cassie was the mastermind. Yeah, that's the escort was saying that. But when you are being manipulated and controlled, you are really just trying to save yourself. I believe that. I do believe I consider Cassie. She was a victim of abuse, for sure. If Cassie doesn't obey No Diddy's wishes, there'll be problems. It always was. If Cassie was the mastermind and she was doing everything Diddy wanted her to do, then why was he? Well, he was doing that to her because at one point when Capricorn Clark talked about how he came and kidnapped her and took her out there because she was allegedly, so Cassie was cheating on Puff, but I think they were separated at the time and went out to this what's his name's house, Harlem?
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi's house, and was like, we're going to get her. And so like she was trying to move on and he didn't appreciate that. So that's why she would get beat up. Like they was separated at the time. Did I miss JoJo? Did I miss it? He had something. I had something up there from him.
Yeah, it's down towards the bottom.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting through them. So oh, there we are. Harlem per the escort because she stopped following Puff's instructions. Exactly. And then I think we just talked about that. Yeah. And then she said the DV was the coercion. Especially, and the other lady too. She was coerced. If she was doing what Diddy wanted, he didn't have a reason to. And she wasn't, like, she was trying to say no. She didn't want to do FOs, and she would. And if she didn't want to do them, then that's another beating. Or if he used every excuse for why he had to put his hand on that little young lady, the way that he did. There was no excuse for it. She was a fan. And my right said, that's what an abusive, controlling relationship is: good and bad, ups and downs. It's why people stay. It's not always bad. Average public doesn't understand this. Okay. And then I'm so behind. No, she said he was bobbing his head and stuff. I'm so behind on that. I don't know what that meant. I look at all the black men Puff took down. Yeah, we can talk about that. Never knew he was a germophobia. No, me either. I didn't either. He let us know today. Blackland. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna need you to help me cover this Tupac trial coming up with Keefe D is going to be the trial of the century. Hey, we are all say the word. Say the word. We on it over here. I'm very interested in that. Right. So says so Harlem, you see that, right? We gotta be on our P's and Q's. And Harlem, you want to know what? When you using other men's, not a German. Yikes. It's so many twists involved. Trust me, I've been low-key covering it for years now. So I know we'll have to get in the weeds with it. And then I'm gonna start doing I know a lot. I've been following like Tupac was my everything. I love me some Tupac. But I've been listening. I know some stuff, but I'm gonna get myself caught up. We can do that though. We can do that. So all right, Harlem, back to you. Did you see Little Dirk trial? Little Dirk's trial is coming up. Yep. It's so much coming up, but we're gonna be on top of all of it. We're gonna try. Okay, Harlem, back to you. What is your other points?
I don't think I had no other point. I think you got everything.
You think I did? I mean, it's a lot. Like I told
I
you,
think you got everything. Oh, the victim that was in there, Joy,
Joy.
and she talked about the letter that her mother wrote to
Oh, yes,
Puffy's mother.
and that was 1999, 96.
Yeah,
But
that was the 90s.
here's why I believe her, because you see the letter. They had the actual letter that her
Right. She said that she had just came across it.
she just happened to come across it, and that's why I think 50 put it in there because she had that solid proof, right? But that's crazy to me. In that I believe it. She was pretty when she was young too. And ain't she another one that said she didn't remember or that she was drugged? She was drugged.
I think she said she didn't remember or she was drugged or something. I would have to go back to her lawsuit because it's been so long since I read it.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it again. If we missed anything, I'm gonna take some really good notes when I look at it again. I just was like I said, looking at it, turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off. But uh, overall, it was really good. Capricorn, I wanted to touch on her again. She like everybody was like, we don't know about Capricorn's story. Like she felt Capricorn said she felt like the jury, like when she saw them, she looked at them and they looked like they didn't believe her story. She said, but she's not lying about that. Do I believe Capricorn? I do. I
I
believe
do.
I believe it happened. I don't think she's lying about it. Um, I feel sorry for Capricorn Clark. She was by his side. She was like she understood Puff's whatever his whole situation, why he was like he was, because her mom was on crack at a young age. And by the time she was what 24 or something like that, her mom had passed away. So she said, can you imagine waking up? You had a mom that's on crack every single day of your life and what you have to deal with when you have a mom like that. That broke my heart for her. And then she goes and work and she had the job of her dreams. She was finally able to take care of herself. And then because she wouldn't, why did he fire her? Oh, I can't remember, but whatever she wouldn't do for Puff, I can't remember. I gotta look again. But he fired her, and that was the heartbreak of her life because, like, man, I was out here able to finally take care of myself. I had the dream job, I had this, I had that. And so I believe her. I believe her. But there are people that saying that they don't. But he came and got her. Like Cassie asked, so she said, I let Cassie have a little fun, which that's when she went over to dude's house. And then Cassie called her and asked, can he go hiking with them? She was like, oh Lord, so she went ahead and let them go hiking. And then Puff's looking for Cassie. No, Puff calls her. That's why she got fired, right? Because he asked her, why didn't she tell him about dude. And he said, so get up. We're going over here to get this. We're going to live him. Get up. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. He said, I don't care what you want. We're going over here to do this. And she called Cassie when she was there, and she's like, look, he is in his house, and he said he's not letting me go till I get you. Cassie was like, come get me. Come get me. As soon as he got to her, what'd he do? Put foot in butt. Crazy. So anyway, let me see. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that, but I will look at that, Montana. I didn't know she did, but I know her sister is engaged and showed some engagement photos. So I'll look into it and we can talk about it. So listen, overall, like I said, I think 50 took a dub. He did good on this. I think it's different than any other documentary that we've ever seen, because even with TMZ and all the other ones, they were kind of showing the same stuff. It was kind of like the same stuff, right? So I think that it's overall really good. I'm gonna look at it again. I feel like there's more we could talk about on it. So I appreciate y'all. Harlem, it feel like I just left so much out.
It's one thing. I never knew that he got Misa from somebody else. So
Oh,
Eric Sermon, that was in there, the rapper,
yes,
he was with Misa before Puffy was with Misa. The incident where Jean talks about where Puffy beat her, allegedly domestic violence,
yeah,
and she went up under the car, is when she was with Eric Sermon in the car. So
yes.
every woman that he's had, he's taken from somebody.
Just like him was with I'll Be Sure,
I'll be sure.
and
His
he,
daughter, his daughter Chance, her
yes,
mother Sarah Chapman was with Tupac.
for real.
Yes.
I missed that one, but he said it. I gotta get my charger. Hold on, I'll be right there. Hold that thought. Be right back. I'm going to get my charger. All right. Let's get ready to die. Oops. Okay, so I'm back. But he was saying that he who was it the bodyguard or one of them was saying that Puff, like he knew, he made a bet, like I bet you I can get Kim. Um, and they said he would take, like if he, I can't remember, I don't hate to word it wrong, but yeah, every woman like that he had, just like Cassie came in, her boyfriend was there with her. And when they started,
Ryan Leslie.
yeah, Ryan Leslie. And when they went in the studio and Ryan was there, did you see how he was looking at Ryan? Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He was sitting in that chair and Ryan was standing up, and he was like, he wasn't happy for Ryan being there. And he said the next thing he know, Cassie was there and there was no more Ryan. So
Right.
these ladies that we hear about him being with, they already had somebody. Excuse me. They already had somebody, and he somehow got them. He swayed them in. It's
Right.
crazy.
Because Kirk even said that he was trying to get at one of Suge's girls.
He couldn't stand Suge.
Yeah. So he just goes after other men's women.
And especially if he don't like them. Like if he don't like, I did not know she was with Tupac.
Yeah. Sarah Chapman. Mm-hmm.
I know that. Oh, I knew that he doesn't get any of his own women. No, look at him.
And then
Um,
don't forget Jane, the Jane Doe, who
yes,
her baby daddy.
yeah. He used to call. Ew. He said, "Ew." Yep, that's right. But he do I mean, his track record shows it. They come with a man, they have their man around, and somehow they disappear. Who was J Lo with before she was with Puff?
Mm.
You know, I'm
Who was
telling.
J Lo with?
Was it the man she
Because
was with?
J Lo was married before she was with Puff.
Who was she married to before her kids?
She was married to a guy, I forget his name, but he says that Puffy basically broke up their marriage.
I wouldn't put it past him. So anyway, this is good. This is good. Yeah, that's all the notes I had for now. So I appreciate you being Affleck. It wasn't now she's been with Ben, but they had never gotten married until
No,
just
it wasn't Ben. It
yeah.
was
So
another guy. It
yeah,
was a
she
Spanish guy.
was there her kid's daddy? No.
I'm trying to Google it real quick to see.
Okay. Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie was Kathy's boyfriend who sat at the table when Cassie went to sign to be on the label. A Rod. I don't know why that name came to my mind. A Rod. Who's A Rod?
His name is Johnny Noah. He's a it says actor, personal trainer, writer.
Hmm.
But that's who
Okay.
she was married to when she started messing with Puffy.
Oh, yep. Right. Right. Put it in there. You right. Noah. Oh, John. I don't know who that is though, but okay. Well, Puff blew that one. It was crazy. It's crazy. It was interesting though. He did good. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. I know it's late over there on the East Coast too. So, but I appreciate y'all being in here. Jojo, I'm gonna hold you to it. We're gonna cover those stories as they those court cases as they come. And then we'll also be looking at the one Montana mentioned. Is it Lil Durk? Whichever one. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for hitting the like. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you for just popping in and popping out. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna look at it again, Harlem. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
look.
am too.
I think we left something out. There's a lot to talk about, so we just don't have that kind of time. But I appreciate y'all, Harlem. Thank you so much as always. I appreciate you being here. Was she? Wait. She divorced Ben Affleck this year. Yeah, so it wasn't. That's why we were saying. That's why Harlem said no. It wasn't Ben Affleck when she got with Puff because she just recently married him and divorced him. So it wasn't Ben. Who's a mess? J Lo. She
J
just
Lo, she is.
yeah, trade on her acting, the dancing, whatever she do, and just don't even date. Just leave it alone. Rush me my money for birthday. Rush me my money for birthday, JoJo. That's what APZ said. And oh yeah, J Lo. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Get some rest and have a blessed night. This was a good conversation. Good
All
conversation.
right, good night.
All right. See you later.